Good evening, I'm Colm Colgan, and you're welcome to the Business and Enterprise Show, Ireland's only live web-based business TV programme, with over 2 million views in over 200 countries. And as always, we're coming to you live from the state-of-the-art studios in the Cavan Crystal Hotel, Dublin Road in Cavan. Now, I suppose one of the signs that the recession is now over is that people who are having parties are looking for something a little bit different to having. I mean, the days of having a few bottles of wine, a few bottles of whiskies and a packet of crisps are starting to disappear. People are looking for something different. And if you're having a party and you're looking for something different, one of the companies you might call is SnapUphotobooth.com. And to find out what that's all about, I'm joined by Patrick Walsh. Patrick, you're welcome.
Colm, thanks very much for having us. Good evening to your viewers.
And thank you very much. Now, SnapUphotobooth, in a nutshell, what is that?
It's if somebody is getting married or having a party, we would come in, we'd set up a green screen background. They can choose from the website of various different backgrounds, famous landmarks around the world. So for weddings, they choose maybe something like the Eiffel Tower, or maybe Thailand, very romantic beaches or stuff. Then we'd also do private parties, 30th, 40th.
Okay, just before we do what else you do, right, so you're setting up, what do you mean you're setting up in the background like a South Sea beach? What do we mean?
We have all these various backdrops. So if you go on the website and you just click on the backdrops, you can see all these various backgrounds, and you choose your background. Like we did a 30th birthday party recently for a girl in Carrick Macross, Anne Marie, and she picked New York skyline. It was very romantic with the old Twin Towers and the moon. And then when we gave her the photographs after the party, it was like people were standing on the bridge or the party was in New York.
Oh, no, I see.
Different.
So, yeah, so in other words, you kind of everybody gets the picture. Not unlike Madame Tussauds.
Yeah, exactly.
I have two pictures in the office, one with Humphrey Bogart and one with Kylie.
Right.
And although having said that, the fact that you can see Japanese tourists in the background does kind of take away from the magic a little. But your concept is you get your photographs taken.
Yeah.
With the background.
Yeah.
Now, you also do a Humphrey Bogart and a Kylie, although there's not a huge demand for Humphrey Bogart.
Well,
I think it's only me and 3 others.
Yeah, well, we have Marilyn Monroe being one of the movie icons.
To hell with Marilyn Monroe. Have you Jean Bourne?
No, we've Charlie Chaplin as well.
Well, if you've Jean Bourne, give us the shout. Right. I'll get my picture taken with Jean.
Right. But people can choose what they want as well, obviously. But then we do a video diary where we have a red carpet event. We've got various very humoursome props. We also have an Oscar. So if girls say for Deb's dance or 18th birthday party or these sweet 16 birthday parties now, we'll actually interview all their guests. And normally the person that's having the party doesn't say it to their guests, and they're surprised. We just zoom in. My colleague Noel Kearns is the technical man. He zooms in with the camera and I do the interviews. You keep it light-hearted.
You're just the glamorous host,
that's
basically.
It, the PR guy.
And of course, I remember when my kids were doing their Debs, that was probably maybe 8-10 years ago.
Right.
In a nutshell, in the heyday, you know.
Yeah.
In the school car park, there was the Hummers, there was fire engines. I do remember tractor at one stage. I'm sure there was a story behind that. Last couple of years, we're back to everyone piling onto the coach. But I noticed, you know, let's not get into the politics of it, but things are turning the corner. People do have a few more bob in their pocket. And the kind of glamorous out there parties, they're coming back a bit.
Yeah, and for the weddings as well, because it is your very special day, so it's a lovely memory to have. And when somebody goes on the website, they can see the packages, but most people want the two. They want the photo booth and the video diary. We'll throw in DVDs, a Blu-ray, we give them a photo album, A4 framed photographs as well. So we throw in, there's a lot of extras. Because I remember somebody was texting me and they're saying, well, what's the price? I said, well, look, we really need to explain. Have a look at the website and make your choosing then. So when somebody saw us, then somebody else booked us. Someone else said, oh, with the price, and I suggested, well, look, why don't you just lodge 50 quid into her account? And then the girl this week has texted me a few times. She's was going to lodge 50 weeks. She's lodged 150. She nearly has it paid then by doing it that way. So it's an easier way, or an auntie or an uncle or a friend might contribute. If it's somebody's 21st or 30th birthday, look, there's a few bob towards your party. And then it's funded, and you have the memory.
And when you say a photo booth, what's
okay,
is that what we, on our second date, I don't mean you and I second date, we never dated, let's put that out there, but generally on about your second or third date, we went into a photo booth in a shopping centre somewhere, and we pledged our love to each other in 4 little slips. Is it something like that? Are they coming back?
Yeah, they are coming back. They are popular. But as I said, our one, we use the backgrounds with the green screen technology, as you have here in the studio. We have, as I said, all the various backdrops. So all you've got to do is just click on the website, SnapUphotobooth.com, click on backdrops, and they'll all come up, from the Great Wall of China to the Colosseum in Rome, your favourite football stadium. Like, we just took a booking this week from girl. She's getting married the October weekend in Carrickmacross. And I had said to Noel when we were doing, what about a red Ferrari? And sure enough, she's after picking the Ferrari as her background. But when you get married, we give people a choice of 3 or 4 backgrounds if they want. So
where did the concept come from? Like, looking at it now, it seems simple. Well, I don't mean simple, I'm sure very technical, but it's a great idea.
Thank
you
you.
think, why didn't someone think of it before? So how did you just come up with the idea?
Well, it was actually Noel Cairns approached me before Christmas about it, and I thought, yeah, it's a good idea. And then I came in with my, I used to be a mortgage broker, investment broker, so sales would be more my end, or PR, and I have done some other TV and radio as well. But I suggested to Noel, well, why don't we do this? Do the red carpet, the Debs now. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. So it's exactly like the Oscars. Like, we have the Marilyn Monroe background, we have the Charlie Chaplin. We're also going to do a third one if people feel, they don't want it, or it's a bit too expensive. Well, what we'll do is they can rent out the props. We'll have James Bond props. They can do Sex and the City nights, Audrey Hepburn nights for girls as well if they want. We have the Charlie Chaplin.
50 Shades of Grey night?
Yeah, 50 Shades of Patrick could be better. Oh, God, I can't believe I just said that. Anyway.
So, who's booking you?
Well, the last time it was a 30th birthday. Now we have a wedding. We're going round to the hotels. We were down in Cabra Castle last week. They're lovely people to deal with Paul down there. We have to go back to them next week. We did a presentation for them. They seemed very impressed. Yes, they wanted to approve us, because we do work to very high standards. Noel is very, very much a perfectionist, wants everything done right, and rightly so. We're ex-business people, we're professional people. It is a special memory for somebody, so we want to do the job right. And then when their party's finished, 2 or 3 weeks later, then they have this, and they can have a second party by showing their night or whatever. We don't just do the interviews, we'll throw in extras, the band playing, people dancing, people around the bar or wherever their party is.
Now, I suppose the technical and even kind of computer technical stuff is a little over my head, but I know on things like Snapchat and that you can kind of make your own effects.
Yeah.
Nearly so people could do it themselves. So how is that affecting, or are you just on a different kind of level?
Well,
in the same way somebody could kind of drive their Ford Escort to their wedding, or they could rent the Bentley, as most people do. Is it just a step above that?
Yeah, well, when we come in, excuse me, we're very committed. It takes about 3 hours. It's all go, go, go. As I said, we've got the various props. Like the Charlie Chaplin or the Marilyn Monroe, it looks like they're standing beside you when the photographs are done. And it's very important to throw in humour as well, because it is a party after all.
How do people find out about you?
Well, the web...
apart from your course at Patrick's Day,
yeah,
called after you, of course, you know.
That's right, yeah, you saw that yesterday in the parade in Baileybur, but, well, it's SnapUphotobooth.com. We're going to be sending out press releases. They will be going out to local radio stations, the local newspaper. You called me yesterday. We'd never really spoken, just in passing, and you saw us through the parade. So that's my end, to promote it as much as I can, to get referred business from people that have booked us, someone else books us because they saw us as well. We're going around now to all the hotels. We'll do party events as well. But also for the corporate market, we've taken a booking for a girl who wants to promote her business. So we'll go in, I go in director and interviewer.
What sort of costs are you talking about?
Okay, well, it varies.
I'm sure there's a basic package and a super package.
Yeah, the platinum package. If people wanted to just rent it out, it's a very reasonable €100, and they can rent out a lot of the props. We have a portable wardrobe. We've got various different props, from glasses to Venice. That's another background we have. So we have the little Venetian masks as well. We've various fun props. Groucho Marx look, various hats, bowler hats, canes, all that you can think of, really.
The first thing that comes, I noticed you haven't said that you have an Oscar Wilde prop.
We do have two Oscar Wilde props.
If you didn't have an Oscar Wilde prop, I would have been a little worried.
We do. We've two small little miniature Oscar Wildes for the children. But for children's parties, we have Elsa and Anna that my daughter loves. She's 8, so we have the Frozen as well.
Once you have Frozen, you're made.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's so popular. So then we got the platinum package, which is where people book the 2. So it's really 2 in 1. So it's working out a lot more reasonable to do it that way. And they'll get, as I said, the red carpet event. We'll interview them. We'll give them an Oscar at the end of the night. We have the statuette. Everything is on the website anyway. Or if they just wanted the background with the photos, then that works out €150 less. The packages are there. They can ring up and we can go through all the details.
Now, when you say the background, I know you were talking green screen technology, and as everyone knows, I'm not a techie, but because of the industry we're in, I do understand the green screen background. Is that what people get, and it goes through your camera? It's not that they get a background that everybody can take their selfies.
No, they can't. We come in and we set up the green screen technology. Like the last party we did, it was just outside the bar. So as the guests arrived, we pounced with the camera. I got in with the microphone, started asking the questions. How did you meet? Then the girl's husband, I got him to say how he met her, which was a very humoursome and romantic story. How he proposed to her after Liverpool had won the European Champions League.
It was in a fit of madness.
In Istanbul, exactly. But so then we pounced, then we did that, the interviews for about an hour and a half, and then after that we went into the pub, set up the green screen, brought in the big props as well. Then people choose their various props, whatever they want to put on, humoursome ones. Then we get all the photographs taken. Now, if you had your own backdrop that's not on the website, obviously if they wanted that as well, they can do that too.
Now, is SnapUphotobooth.com, is that a Patrick Walsh enterprise, or is it a franchise of a big worldwide thing?
No, well, was Noel Kearns.
Sorry, Patrick, by that I mean, is it your own idea?
Yes.
Or is it a franchise?
No, it's our own idea. It was Noel Kearns' idea.
Yeah.
But I came in with my views, and I felt we should bring in the red carpet event, the Oscars type, because now you switch on Expose or there's movie premieres, they're always at red carpet events. So that was my contribution, ideas-wise, to it. And then
I'm sure you brought more to it than
well, obviously there's lots.
Now, it's not part of a franchise.
No.
Have you thought?
We have.
Into the future here.
Yes,
we could franchise it.
Yeah, possibly. We have to talk to an accountant down the road about that. Obviously, we have certain goals. It's very important to set goals in life.
In any,
and we have to build it stay, or you build a wall brick by brick,
Yeah.
which is what we're trying to do at the moment. We're a very young company. We have testimonials from the parties we've done are on the website as well. And it's Snap with the capital U, photobooth.com.
Because you is the important thing in our business.
Exactly. And the kids too. They can see it, kids. There's a couple of little videos on it. There's one with Frozen. My daughter did it. She's 8. And she'll go along. If you click on the video, that's a minute long. Then I do one on James Bond. Every bloke wants to be James Bond. Well, I certainly did anyway. But,
yeah, I don't think any of us can ever put on a tuxedo without going into that pose.
Yeah, I had a nickname 003 and a half. But,
I won't ask why. This doesn't go on after 9. Now, word of mouth, that would be fairly important, because I'd say if you went to a party and there was Noel and Patrick, and like it was like you were on the set of a James Bond movie. It was like you were getting bed into Marilyn Monroe. You say, Jesus, my 50th is coming. Okay, my 50th as well. Me 60th is coming up. I must do something like that. Yeah. It must be great word of mouth.
Oh, absolutely. It's very important that you do a good job for people. Whatever job you do, you do your job to the full ability that you have. And that's why it's great when somebody would give us a testimonial. And I remember Anne-Marie said, oh, I didn't expect this and didn't expect this. We stayed on an extra hour. We wanted to get... The girls, no problem interviewing the girls. The guys are shyer, and it's hard, and you've got to really work to get them out there. And when they get a couple of beers into them,
then you can't stop them.
Obviously, it's a lot easier, yeah. We normally wrap up before around midnight, though, and leave the party to go on.
And is that it, or is that when Noel really kicks in?
Well, then Noel has to come in. This
the editing and all that malarkey, yeah.
Noel has all the hard graft to do that, and then takes a few weeks for that. But we would be normally gone before midnight and let the party flow, and then a few weeks later she can relive it again and show it to her family or friends. But like, it's for everyone, the corporate market as well. If people want to, you know, promote their companies or do some, I will come in. I've some experience. I trained the Gaiety School of Acting. I have interviewed some people that you'd know anyway, and so I'll come in there. I'll direct it as well for them, and Noel will also put our contribute. So it's good for promoting your company as well. Or Christmas party in the company.
You're nearly, when you're sitting down trying to work out your prospect list.
Yeah.
It must be, the possibilities are so endless.
Yeah, they are.
From a business point of view, it must be a very exciting thing to be doing. Like, it's not that, okay, we're actually selling widgets for the beer making machine that sits in that corner. Like, apart from the fact that widget making is so boring, but it's so specific. Here you are, it's an exciting, it's not only exciting, it's fun.
Yeah, it's
and
great
fun. Let's be honest, if you've got to make a living, you may as well do something that's fun
and you enjoy. Absolutely.
But the market is so wide out there, it's incredible.
It's like, SnapU, let us bring the fun to you. Yeah. And the kids too, which Wendy does for the kids' parts. But as you said, you know, when you look at it, like, there could be golf clubs I thought about as well. Well, Captain's Day in the golf club. Why doesn't the captain surprise his guests or the lady captain and have a red carpet event? This would be unusual as well. So, as you say, it could be endless, from christenings to weddings to 21st to 80th, memories of your parents or whatever. Yeah. You know?
And, you know, because again, I know Noel myself, and I know the equipment that he has. Yeah. It's not easy to replicate. It's not like when you were videoing weddings, and all of a sudden anyone with a video camera you got in PC World could kind of, well, how much is it for you to video a wedding? Well, I'd be there. You're probably looking at about 1,200. And all of a sudden, the fella, two doors around the corner, took out his video camera, said, so I'll do it for 150.
Yeah.
You know,
and all it's state-of-the-art, you know.
You do need state-of-the-art equipment for this. Yeah. And you already have that. So you have the technical bit done.
Yeah. Noel is bygone memories, actually, Colm. And he's filming me. I did something for Crom Castle. It was a gala, Victorian evening, and Oscar Wilde. And if anyone went on Facebook, Oscar Wilde Genius, they'll see him filming me in Crom, or they can see it anyway, the standard of his work on the videos, by just clicking on SnapU.
Normally I start off all my interviews by asking the guests to talk about themselves. We went straight into it, you know. We may as well nib back to you.
I like to do all the talking myself. It's one of my greatest pleasures. I often have long conversations all by myself, and sometimes I'm so clever I don't understand a single word of what I've been saying.
I wonder who would have said that. And of course, one of you, like, you're probably Ireland's foremost person on Oscar Wilde, but what you're most famous for is sitting down cooking a dinner and chatting to people
that's right.
over a table.
Come wine with me.
Come wine with you. And you're practically an international star at this stage.
Well, that's gone out to America. I believe it's gone out to India. Tony was saying that to me. But that was good crack. It was hard going now, but made a few friends, still very friendly with Tony and Pauline. Chatting to Colette there before Christmas, I think November. I was telling you off camera. And yeah, I've kept in touch with them all. It was a good experience. I got some exposure on it through Oscar Wilde. I did some work down in Ashford Castle, which that helped as well.
When you say I did some work on Oscar Wilde, what is it that you do on Oscar?
Okay, well, I tell his life story.
As in, you just recite it, or are you in character?
I'm in character. I would dress in character, and I would tell his life story from when he was the most famous man in the world to finishing up in the gutter and ended up in prison, lost his wife and children, never got to see them again. It's a real, as he said himself, we're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars, one of his more famous quotes. I did that for the American tourists in Ashford. And I did it with John Grant down in Kells Theatre before Christmas. It was much bigger. And when I told that story, a lot of women would ask me, well, what happened to his poor dear wife? Because it was quite a tragic story. So I got John Grant's daughter, Linda Grant. She played his wife, wrote a piece, which was fantastic. She absolutely stole it. And I was up there, it was 80 minutes interval, and then another 80 minutes. She came on for about 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was tough going now when you're on stage.
80 break and 80. Oof.
Yeah, it was quite a long time. No, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. It was 50 minutes.
Even 50 break 50.
And then break 50, yeah.
Particularly on your own.
Yeah.
You know.
But if people wanted an Oscar Wilde, they can have their team nights. As I said, if girls wanted Sex and the City, this girl asked me last week about Sex and the City. They can have their Audrey.
Sure, she was talking.
James
she might have been talking about a photo booth, you know. So I'll meet you in Dublin, and we'll have. Yeah, go on.
There's James Bond team nights are quite popular as well, where all the girls dress up and the guys. So we'd have the Bond props as well. Yeah. And actually, another one, friend of mine, Carlos, suggested, which was a brilliant idea. We thought Downton Abbey. So somebody gets married in a lovely castle like Cabra Castle or whatever, or here in the Cavan Crystal or wherever it may be. If they want the characters from Downton Abbey, I'm sure we can create those as well to give it that extra little touch. They'll all be included in the price.
Now, where do you get your props from?
Well,
and you say created character. What's that?
You buy, like we bought Frozen, for example, so obviously the royalty is then paid. Because of copyright, you have to be careful. So you can, we bought these props. Well, we got the two girls, the Frozen. I'm sure you're familiar with it, Anna Nelson.
I'm not as familiar as I really say I would have been of the Turtles or something of that vintage, you know. But
you
no
saw
matter who
it
you are,
anyway
it's impossible.
yesterday in
I
the
did,
parade.
yeah.
So that's the Frozen. So if you think of it, there could be John Wayne's or there'd be the James Bond characters. Now, some of them won't have faces as well. So you put your face inside Pierce Brosnan or Halle Berry or whatever. And then, as I said, Downton Abbey is another one. Or people just want their team parties themselves.
Yeah.
Create whatever they want.
You said team party football teams?
Yeah, why not? Or they can pick their favourite football stadium. I think there's a stadium, Wembley Stadium's up there and the Aviva's up there as well.
You've never been asked to kind of, could we have a fantasy teamed Bethany Park now?
Well, there's another one, or Croke Park could be another one. You know, there's buckets
I would have thought Croke
ideas.
Park would be very popular around here, because in fairness, how many Cavan people get a chance to hear Croke Park?
Jeez, they won't like you after that. The poor Cavan people.
Where do you get the props?
Well, we have them. We
no, but where, like, there's hardly a prop shop. Is there a prop shop in Dublin?
No, we invested in them. Somebody who had them for a teamed party, we bought them off them then. I bought the Frozen, Peter in the market stall in Baileyborough picked up that for me in the wholesalers. Now, obviously, with Frozen and all the merchandise, as I was saying, there's copyright, but we've paid for that because we purchased it, so they get their royalty then back in Hollywood, or DreamWorks made it, I think, was it? Whoever.
As long as Hollywood is getting well looked after from Baileyborough. You know?
Yeah, they got their few Bob.
And are you constantly adding to...
Yeah.
To your stock? And if somebody comes along and says, I'm just looking at the prop at the corner there, a Buddy Holly and the Cricket's night, Now, would you can
cater.
source everything. Yeah.
We'll try and cater all the time. As I said, we're a young, growing company, which is good. A sign of the times. Thank God, we're very positive people, the both of us anyway. We have an experience. Noel's past experience was Intel. He has bygone memories. He's very experienced. He's done a vast amount of weddings anyway to a very high standard. Yeah. Obviously, he'll add in background music, stuff like that as well. And then, as I said, I'll come in and I'll do my bit, but we'd be quick go, and we do add the humour, which is very important, you know. And
export? Could you see you're getting the call?
Well, actually, we've had some inquiries for weddings abroad in Portugal next year, and in Spain also. So like if somebody books us, say, to do a wedding abroad with Ryanair now, it's not expensive for them to fly us over. Normally keep us there 2 nights or something, because a lot of people are having these barbecues afterwards. Yeah. So we could do the barbecue as well if they wanted the following day, and then they fly us back.
Yeah. Would it be right in saying it's a business whose time is now?
Absolutely.
3-4 years ago, that would have just been extravagant. If you remember, kind of 4 or 5 years ago, if anyone got a new car, they were nearly embarrassed on us, you know. I don't want to be showing it to be on stage. That's coming back. People are kind of saying, right, well, we're back now. And I'm now 55, 60, 21, whatever. I want to market, and I want to do something different. And, you know, there's no doubt about it. What you're doing is something different.
Yeah, thanks. It is. We're doing it differently as well compared to our competitors. We're the only ones that really has this video diary in the country, as well as the photo booth that we're doing. And I did suggest this to Noel, we've got to be different, we've got to try and do it this way. And I said, thank God we're out of the recession now. We're starting to move with the times. People seem to have a few bob again in their pockets. Yeah. And, you know, it's a once-in-a-lifetime memory for their wedding day.
Absolutely. Well, thanks very much for coming in. You might tell everybody how they can contact you and how to get you.
So it's Patrick Walsh at SnapU, that's capital U, SnapUphotobooth.com, Patrick Walsh or Noel Kearns. So I hope to hear from you, because we are taking bookings.
Well, if you're going to have a party and you want to do something memorable, I remember when I was 30, and that needless to say, it was quite a long time ago, I had a stripogram, and I still remember. So if you want something completely different and a little more decent than a stripogram, then call Patrick, call Noel. It's a fantastic idea. It's SnapUphotobooth.com. I've been Colm Colgan. You've been watching the Business Enterprise Show. Good night. Talk to you next week.